What is up, guys? It's Jimbo here and welcome back to another Starfield video. Do you want to get yourself a penthouse and an amazing set of legendary armor for absolutely free in Starfield? Well, look no further than today's video. We're going to be going over the UC questline and all of the different rewards and stuff that you can get, because I highly recommend doing this, because having your own penthouse allows you to do things such as decorate it in a certain way and also relieve yourself of those over encumbered problems that you may have in your inventory that you don't necessarily want to keep on your ship. So let's jump in. First of all, right at the start of the game, you are going to go and visit Commander Tuala as part of the main quest line, but you're also going to go and apply for the UC Vanguard. You're going to complete the flight training and also the introductory thing where you walk through the museum. Go through all of that, and that will give you the first specific mission that you have. Then you'll go into the grunt work quest. Grunt work allows you to go to the Tauceti region to visit a base and talk to Hadrian. When you get there, unfortunately, the base is absolutely destroyed thanks to an attack by a Terramorph. Follow the steps for the quest, and then you're going to be able to fight the Terramorph, but what you want to do first is set up all of the traps so that you can do some additional damage to the Terramorph, and then once you've killed it, get yourself the sample and take it back to Hadrian. Follow the steps that you have left until you go back to meet Commander Tuala again. At this point, he will give you two quests. He will give you Delivering Devils, and he'll also give you Deep Cover. Deep Cover is a Crimson Fleet quest. Do not follow this quest line. At the moment, you want to follow the Delivering Devils questline, because that is going to be the majority of the UC Vanguard stuff. Delivering Devils has you heading to Mars. It follows the quest steps and all the way through until you reach the bartender, and you have the option to either pay off the debt to Percival or clear out the mines of Spacers to be able to get some minerals, to be able to interact with the trade authority, to be able to get yourself, a relief of paying off the debt that Percival owns. So go all the way through, head back to Sidonia, and then talk to the trade authority. Once you've cleared out the Spacers mine, get the debt paid off, and then go and talk to the bartender again, and they will give you a key that gives you access to a different area of the mines. Head back to the mines, go through and follow through the steps, and then you'll eventually find Percival and you'll finish up the quest. You'll know you're on the right tracks if Percival is looking at the sample that you gave him, and then the next quest step will hit. At this point, you will get the Eyewitnesses quest, which means that you need to go back to Alpha Centauri and meet up with Hadrian again and talk to her about being a clone of a former colony war veteran, and that conversation will play out. You will then speak to the council about the Terramorphs and accessing the archive for data. At this point, you will then get fought by Terramorphs. You have to head down towards the port to be able to fight them, and essentially this is going to be a cool combat encounter. There is an encounter leading up to this where you have to use an EM rifle to stun a bunch of victims. It's a bit weird in how it actually works, so you have to kind of give it a couple of tries, because then it will basically give you the next quest step and say, oh hey, this is where you need to go. But then you'll fight the Terramorphs. Once you've killed them, you'll talk to Sergeant Yumi, and then you'll head back to the council to round out the end of the quest. The next quest, Friends Like These, are super easy. You need to go to talk to the deputy, and then you're going to head to the different embassies to get access to other archival codes. I would highly recommend that you go to the Freestar Embassy and quick save and try and persuade the leader to give you access to the key card. That is what worked for me. If this doesn't work, I don't have the footage of it on hand, but if it doesn't work, talk to Cameron. He will give you an option to sneak into the office and use a listening device in order to get some dirt on Ratcliffe, who will eventually talk, and then eventually will give you the code. I'm sure you can follow all of the quest steps when you do talk to Cameron in an inability to get this to work. Then, after that, you'll head into the Varun Embassy. This is going to be overrun with the security systems down. There's going to be a bunch of robots in there. Make sure that you use the computers to turn the friend versus foe off, basically so they kill the other robots for you. Speak to the ambassador as you've made your way through. Explain the situation. They will give you another access code to the archives. Head back to the deputy, who will also then tell you to go to the archives and get the data on the Terramorphs. After this, the next quest step will pop up, and it's super easy. You don't really need anything. All you need to do is go and speak to the deputy, and then go and speak to Val Victus, who is in the subsection 7. It's super easy. There's no real things that you can mess up here. And try and keep like the normal options. Don't piss him off. Don't do anything like that. If you want to do something crazy, then feel free. It's up to you. And that will lead into the next quest, which is War Relics. War Relics has you heading to Nissa. Speak to Gel at the one-of-a-kind salvage yard about Kaiser. They will talk about trying to give you that information, but it's not for free. You can either pay 1,000 credits or try and persuade them. I just eventually paid the 1,000 credits. You should have a lot on hand at this present moment. Go and find Kaiser out in the mech yard. There's going to be some leeches on him, so you're going to want to make sure you remove them. Super easy. And then he will talk about having no power to be able to help you out. This will have you returning to Gel to be able to build yourself a microcell. I wouldn't recommend actually paying for one. I would go out into the scrapyard again and build yourself your own microcell, because it's a lot easier. Take the parts back to Gel, and then you can craft yourself a microcell and give it to Kaiser. He will then fight some sirens until you reach a destination, because you'll be asked to help him on a mission. Kaiser will then talk to you about Unit 99, which is just this huge siren that you have to go and fight. There will be some spacers that are located in the area as well. Go and kill the spacers and Unit 99, and then finish up the mission heading back to the Red Devil's base to kind of finish out the dialogue. Now we get into the juicy stuff, because this is hostile intelligence. This is going to have you heading to Londonian. You're going to get through all of the dialogue, and eventually you're going to have to gear up. This is where you're going to gear up and get yourself the anti-Xeno armor, which is going to be very good for taking on the Terramorphs, but it's also an incredible piece of armor in general. There's also going to be a ton of weapons here. I accidentally picked a lock. Well, I didn't accidentally pick it. I'm going to be honest here. I picked the lock in front of everyone, and I got a small bounty, which I went and got rid of at the Freestar Collective afterwards. But yeah, you get a lot of stuff here: ammo, med packs, everything that you will need. Then you're gonna head through and fight 2 waves of Terramorphs on the main area, and head into a big open section where you have to go and acquire samples and fight 2 really annoying, really bulky Terramorphs in this specific encounter. After this, you proceed until you get to the steam tunnels, kill another Terramorph, and give that sample to Kaiser. The story will play out. Follow the steps, and then you'll find out that Val Victus was behind the bombing of the spaceport on Londonian. You'll find out a bunch of other stuff as well. Then you go into the main last section of the area. You'll fight the Alpha Terramorph, and you'll use these frequency changes to turn the other Terramorphs against it. Kill that Terramorph, get the sample, give it to Kaiser. Then you're going to go and speak to Hadrian afterwards to wrap up this area. I chose to tell her about her father and that he is still alive, because technically she is a clone of him. And then I went back to the UC. This is where we get into the roundup section, and why I think this is really important with some of the stuff that you do. First of all, you're going to go and talk to Val and expose him for his lies, and he's going to tell you the truth of everything that's been going on. And then you're going to eventually head to the council meeting. But before you do that, in that conversation with Val, you're basically going to say to him you don't know what you're going to say during the council meeting. At this point, you're going to go and speak to Hadrian and Percival, and you want to lie to them about Val's involvement. Essentially, this is going to have you telling them that the other doctor that you killed previously was responsible for everything, and try to pin it on him rather than on Val. I'll tell you more about why you're going to do that in just a moment. You're then going to go and speak to the Gambit and lie again, dropping this doctor in it. And then you're going to ask for Hadrian to speak for you, so you don't have to answer anything more specific. Be asked how you want to deal with the Terramorph problem, and I went with the hunting option, which is to do with the aliens they've cloned again, rather than going with like this gas microbe thing that you can use. So I went with the other option. The reason why you want to keep Val alive here is because it opens up more missions for future side content, because if you tell them that it was all on him, he will then be executed, so you won't be able to get any more missions. After you've completed all the dialogue, you will become a Class 1 citizen in Alpha Centauri. This is going to give you access to a penthouse. In order to access this penthouse, you're going to need to go to the realtors, which is not too far outside. You'll get it up as a little activity that you can do that's not on the main quest one. It's on the main activities. Head to that realtor and then head to the penthouse in the residential section, and then you can decorate it as you want for your specific style that you want. You can put a mission board in here, you can put all of the different workshops, you can put display stands here for all of the different suits that you want to keep hold of. I made myself a little armory weapon rack in the back room to be able to put a bunch of stuff on, and as you level up and get more things from the research bench, such as decorations, you'll be able to make it look the way that you want. So you got yourself a free house, and you also got an amazing bit of armor because the anti-Xeno armor is actually really good. I would swap out the pack for something else and go with something like the Mantis to be able to give you a chameleon or something else that you really want. But overall, it's a really good set of missions, and I really enjoyed the UC Vanguard questline. And hopefully this helps explain how you can get yourself a penthouse and how you can get yourself some awesome goodies along the way. And as always, if this video has been helpful and informative, leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with more content, and on the notification bell as always, and go and check out all the links in the description and the rest of the content on the channel. That'd be much appreciated. Tell me down below what you're going to put in your penthouse when you get hold of it. And as always, this has been Shimbo, and I'll see you guys next time.